There it is. It's the bong. It's Friday, everybody. Welcome to the show. You are aboard, and this is Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am, of course, Scott Steehn, lead handicapper at winnersandwiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwiners.com.
Together we make up Heading Back to the Window. This is the 200th show, buddy. 200 today.
Had a great time.
It's been a good run, hasn't it?
Yeah, feels that way.
JC Stone, what's up, baby?
What Friday? Is that, like 6.5 months?
No,
6 months.
It's a little better than that because we've done five a week.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's a little more substantial. It's almost 40 weeks, I want to say.
Okay, not bad.
So another 3 months we'll be doing a year. So we'll have a big party for that. So
cool.
Good to have everybody here. We got 16 people out there. I can see you. I know you're there. Is this thing on? I can hear you breathing. Zodwick, happy Friday, everybody. TGIF, back at you, brother. It's good to be here, man. Good to be here. Browns backer in the hizzy. Scott, how'd your day yesterday go? Did you load up on that Thursday night football game?
I did not load up. I had action on it, but that did not work out. I had the Steelers plus 3.5, which was absolutely an experience because that was almost the greatest comeback of all time for gambling purposes. When you're down 29 points and you somehow have a shot to actually potentially tie the game late, but didn't get there. I'm not going to blame Freiermuth for dropping it. He got hit over the middle by 3 guys. It's a very tough catch. I got to give Big Ben props, though. He actually did a pretty good job on the final drive.
Not bad at all. T-Train in the house. It's Ooey Pooey Friday. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You excited about the Jaguars today, bud?
I was, and then I saw the total was 125, and I thought, well, Ooey Pooey's going to contribute, what, 45 in that game?
50, somewhere around there. Lawrence Anthony, L.A. in the house. Good afternoon, gents. Hey, Lawrence Anthony, how are you doing? I had a weird day yesterday, Scott. I had the prop from the carries, and Najee Harris somehow got over 19 carries, being behind 3 touchdowns the entire game. I really don't know fucking how they did that because I'd given up on that. I total disclosure, I got so tired of that game in the first half, I turned it off because I'm gonna have. I watch all the games. I watch the condensed version of every NFL game. I'm like, I don't want to have to watch this fucking game twice. I just don't. So
I mean, what were you supposed to learn from the entire first half? You were going to learn nothing.
You know what I learned? I got a couple of live plays, and I had a premium on the under. And I saw early in the game, even though they didn't have many points, that's not how that was going. You had some drive, missed field goals, that kind of thing. I'm like, this fucking game, I'm screwed. Mm-hmm. I did get some live action to fade myself, but Ben got his over half a yard rushing. Oh, that's right. In the first quarter, Big Ben took off for the first down. I did see that. So that was exciting. Yeah. So it was did we learn anything about either one of those teams?
Not really. They're both psycho teams. I guess the main takeaway is Pittsburgh really cannot stop the run.
Yeah, they can't. And last night
isn't that the only takeaway? I mean, what else am I supposed to learn? Well, Minnesota, we know, is a psycho team.
I'll give you another takeaway. When you got the team that leads the NFL in sacks, recording 0 sacks on Kirk Cousins, you got issues, man. If you're not going to put pressure on Cousins, and if you're not going to stop Dalvin Cook, I don't know how your night's going to go. Well, yeah, I do. It's going to go not well.
Well, that was the thing. The only thing that my breakdown got wrong, besides obviously the final result, was the fact that I thought Dalvin Cook would be pretty much a non-factor, and I wasn't sure if he was even going to play.
Right.
And he was unbelievable.
Yep.
But everything I said about Cousins being awful in primetime, whatever, it stood. He was terrible yesterday. It was just Cook was picking up 12 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like we were kind of a mixed bag because I told you that if Dalvin Cook played, he was going to have a featured role, and he did. But I also thought that they would be able to at least slow down Dalvin Cook, and they did not do that at all. Brendan Tracy says, Purdue? What a game. What a game. I was on the wrong side of that. I had Purdue minus the points. A lot of my commenters had Purdue as well. I thought that was a good play. But again, Scott, the first road game jumps up and bites us. Purdue hadn't played a true road game this season. And even though they were up 10 in the second half, had a real shot to cover it, Rutgers just wouldn't go away. Just wouldn't. And they played fucking good defense. and Purdue ended up choking it down down at the end of the game. We might even talk to that here a little bit later. Brad Crawford said, I told you to hit the over in last night's game. Was going to hit. Yep. Shitty defenses. It's a dome, fast track. Yep, great call on Bet the Farm, Iowa State. Yep, thank you very much. We didn't make the under our Bet the Farm in the NFL game, so that was something. So yeah, we'll be doing our Bet the Farm here later in the show as we go for 7 in a row, Scott.
Yep,
we're in rarefied air right now, so hopefully everybody's been doing a rollover parlay, and you're all set. You can let it ride one more time. Well, Scott, let's get to it, man. We got a lot to talk about today. Please, everybody, of course, do not forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. In fact, if you don't like and subscribe, Ben Roethlisberger will be your fantasy quarterback next season. That is a done deal. That is written in stone. So make sure you do like and subscribe. And of course, check out our buddy Chris King doing his show, Just Parlays. Today was at 11 a.m., Scott. I haven't received the official word if that's a permanent time change. But do keep aware of that. If you listen to him live, there is a possible time change, or I don't know if it was done for convenience here at the end of the week. I don't know. But if you listen to his show later in the day before the games, don't worry about it. It'll still be posted there. But he's been very good. Hit another couple 2-teamers last night. He's the parlay master. He's the king of parlays, Scott. So
I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely true. But let's talk about what happened yesterday, and not just the games that we've bitched about so far, but there were some bad breaks out there for the folks. Let's find out who needed to pick up their cell phone and dial 911, get those cops on the line. All right, man. There were some tough beats that we had to sort through yesterday, but we're going to start in the NFL. If you had the Steelers team total under 20.5, had to feel good at halftime because they had 0. That's about what you want to see. Pittsburgh offense has been able to get nothing going, but all that second half. Hello, boys. They put up 28 in the second half. They finished with 28. Oh, there you go. If you had the Steelers team total under 20.5, it looked good. And then it wasn't. Call the cops.
Looking at hockey, if you had the Sharks under 6, you had 5 goals with about 2 minutes to go, empty netter, and you go, all right, well, it's 4-2. You just gave up an empty net goal. Why would the Sharks pull the goalie again? They pulled the goalie again, and the Wild scored again. 2 empty net goals in the final 2 minutes. The game ended 5-2.
Probably my least favorite part about hockey. It really is. That last 2-minute empty net thing just can change everything. I got to be honest, I don't care. I don't care for it. And the last one, if you had Texas in the first half, pick them against Seton Hall. Longhorns looked pretty good against the Hall there in the first half. They were up 5 points with 46 seconds left. Seton Hall layup, you're still down 3. Just get down there, shoot the ball. Don't turn it. Oh, shit, they turned it over. Seton Hall drills the Long Ranger with 3 seconds left. That's 37-37 at halftime. Sure, you got to push, but that's a push loss right there. Call the Caps.
All you needed was for somebody not to shoot a 3. Give them a free layup. Just do something. And unfortunately, they did not, as Seton Hall hit that 3-pointer. So that's another one of those pushes where you win that probably 80-something% of the time you're in that situation.
Yeah, you're a 4-1 favorite with 40 seconds left, no doubt about it. It's those players, I got to tell you, Scott, they play as if they have no care at all about what our first half play is. It's like it doesn't even fucking matter to them. I don't care for it. Well, there was some good news out there. Hopefully you guys were somewhat on the right side of some of these. If you were, it was a good thing because you were sitting in the rocking chair, baby.
So the first one was the Minnesota Vikings first half -1.5 against the Steelers. They led 6-0 after the first quarter, which is okay, not fully impressive, but then they outscored them 17-0 in the second quarter, and they led 23-0 at halftime.
Very nice. Very nicely done. Yeah, some of the breaks started to go their way. And turning to the NBA, if you had the Nuggets Spurs over 216.5, holy crap, 139 at halftime. You do the math on that. What do you need? 77 points there to win that one.
According to math, you
it's
lose. That's what that means.
78 points. Sorry. You got all those. As this game, they didn't have a great second half. But after putting up 139 in the first half, didn't have to. Put up 95 in the second half, didn't fucking matter. Game landed 234. Nice, easy rocking chair win.
And the last one in hockey, if you had the Blackhawks and the Canadiens under 5.5, you had no goals in the first, 1 goal in the second, and 1 goal in the third. Game ended 2-0.
No empty netters. And there's 7 empty netters there to finish out the game.
There were no 7 empty netters, and you cashed your under.
All right, very good. All right, well, not everybody had a great day yesterday, Scott. There was a number of competitors for this one, but we have narrowed it down to one, and I think you guys are. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Let's find out who was wearing the golden feed bag yesterday. Who indeed is the donkey of the day? All right, Scott. Oh man, this guy.
We actually didn't even talk about this when we usually try to make sure we agree on who's going to be the winner of these awards.
Yep.
We didn't even bother because we thought it was so obvious who was going to get it.
Yeah, no, this is and to add insult to injury, I've of course got this fucker on my fantasy team. It says Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool. They're running their 2-minute offense, Scott. They are desperately trying to get down the field as the game ends, trying to get the victory there. And Chase, God bless him, nice catch, first down. Wanted to take time to celebrate that first down. Again, less than a minute left in the fourth quarter. Celebration took roughly, 10, 12 seconds, something like that. What the fuck are you thinking? Seriously.
Well, to add to that, of course, what was he thinking? He had to get his yards, and he's going to showboat when he converts a 4th and 1. But because of that, you can make an argument, assuming everything else played out the same way, that Pittsburgh would have had 15 seconds left at the 8-yard line instead of 3 seconds left. So you might have been able to call another play or two.
Mm-hmm.
But Claypool decided to showboat a little bit. And because of that, I don't want to say costed his team the game. He didn't help matters. Let's put it that way.
The only good Claypool is less Claypool, Scott.
I did read that somewhere, but it's really just an issue in general with sports, which is why I give some players a hard time. You've been playing the sport since what? Probably Pop Warner, back when you were in like 2nd grade, maybe?
Yes.
Does anybody have any football IQ at all? Anybody? Like, you're sprinting to the line. You know you're down 8 points. You really need to flex on the opposition while they're beating you? I don't get it.
Yes, that's exactly what you have to do. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's become it's kind of, anything I say at this point is going to be old man yelling at clouds, so I want to be very careful. I don't want to talk about back in my day or all that shit, but it seems like the self-expression and the celebration of patting yourself on the back has become a little bit more important lately. No?
Well, it is, because even earlier in that game, I know Pittsburgh made a comeback, or almost made the comeback, but the entire Steelers defense sprinted to the end zone to celebrate an interception while they were down 20 points.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what's happening. Like, isn't winning the game the most important part? Or is that just me?
I think that's what it is. So J.C. Stone said 40 years of wagering, had a first yesterday, lost a 4-banger by a half yards receiving prop, Jefferson.
That was a brutal beat, though, because Jefferson had about 4 separate catches for like 30 yards that either went through his hands or hit him in the fingertips. It was really just a tough break for Jefferson bettors there.
Absolutely. And Brad Crawford, as if he was on the payroll, he said everybody had Purdue last night. One of the greatest endings to a college basketball game, to a basketball game that there ever was. Scott, that's a perfect transition, isn't it? They don't really get any better than that. Let's find out. It's not going to be much of a mystery, but let's find out who it was on today's edition of the Gambling Hero of the Day. One of our favorite sound effects, by the way. All right, Scott. Brad brought it up. Can you expand on this a little bit?
So for this one, we got to talk about the Purdue-Rutgers game. And Rutgers forward, Ron Harper Jr., I'm assuming his father is Ron Harper Sr., hit the game-winning half-court shot yesterday at the buzzer to beat number 1 ranked Purdue. And Rutgers was plus 650 on the money line.
Mm-hmm. It's a hell of a game. They had Purdue made the unlikely shot there to take the lead with about 3 seconds left.
Zach Randolph Jr. Nice little post move over there.
How does that kid only play 20, 21, 22 minutes a game? I don't understand that.
I don't know, because he walked into about 22 and 11 last night.
What I'm saying. He is he the leading scorer?
He probably is.
I think he is.
I don't think Ivy shoots enough to be the leading scorer.
No, neither does Stefanik, or I don't know, man. I don't understand how that team lost.
And Edey, of course, doesn't have the actual stamina to play enough minutes to lead the team in scoring.
No, you see those kids like that are like huge. You know,
he has no moves whatsoever. He's just 7'4".
Well, he's got a couple of moves.
Yeah,
that's a move. Yeah, that was a hell of a game. I have to agree with Brad. That's one of the best endings to a college basketball game that you're ever going to see. Very, very high quality. Even though I was on the wrong side of it, but you know me and my vindictive spirit. Once Purdue wasn't going to cover, fuck them. I hope they lose. That's exactly
I had no interest in laying 14 with Purdue on the road, but Rutgers, good for them. You know, it was a win
Scott,
they need to have.
I got 11. Look at the closing line value I got.
I'm a huge fan of the CLV trash can. I'm a huge fan of it, but I'm just looking at a spot where Rutgers really just, I don't know, has had Purdue's number for the last couple of years. I'm not really sure why it is. I don't know if it's Purdue's guards. You're up 10, though, with about 8 minutes to go, and Purdue completely just falls apart. Definitely not what you had in mind, but it kind of sums up the real state of college basketball this season, which is, are there any teams that are actually really, really good? Because right now, I think my favorite team, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, is probably the new number 1. It's going to be Baylor.
Yeah. Yeah, you're reigning national champions. 1777 memorabilia said we had some ugly NFL games this year, but last night took the prize. Pittsburgh's offensive line hates Big Ben, apparently. No shit. That's no lie right there. They're not very good. And he had Iowa State Purdue parlay for $500. Oof.
Well, you know, one issue that they had going on with Pittsburgh, which they mentioned in the first half, you notice how Big Ben's getting killed for the entire first half. And you're going, what's going on right now? And they're like, oh, yeah, they're on their 5th right guard of the season. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's 4 more than you want to have.
Yeah, they've had some definite problems there all year with their offensive line. I missed you. Mehmet Funderburg said I missed him for capper of the day. He had Utah -3 for 5 units. My bad, buddy. It happens. I'm doing those, late at night. You know me. No excuses. I'm sorry for missing you. I will mention it right now. Mehmet Funderburg, co-capper of the day yesterday. Thanks for pointing that out. J.R. Black said, with you, Steamroller, not going to hell with you. Lose. Jones in the house. Damn Purdue. Yes, that pretty much is the theme of the day. Did I miss the UFC picks? No, you gonna do a show?
No, I'm doing the show later. I have to actually do a show. It's one of the biggest cards.
Are you gonna do a UFC show?
Yeah, I'm saying I've been saying I was going to, and the cards have been underwhelming, so I decided not to do it. Okay. This card is anything but underwhelming. I will make a video on it.
Okay. Not sure. I bet Purdue if I knew Rutgers had beaten Purdue last 3 times. Yeah, again, historical trends like that, you got to be careful. But it definitely paid off last night. Donald Hatch, what's up, bitches? Nice. Everybody's kind of running loose here on Friday. How do I watch the show for UFC? It'll be
just watch my Scott Selection show tonight, and I'll have a UFC video for you.
On YouTube. Joan S. says she likes Sean O'Malley in UFC.
Well, I mean, O'Malley's favored by a bunch, so I'm not surprised. I think Paiva's actually an underrated fighter. But realistically, I do think O'Malley will fare pretty well in the spot.
I like him. I like him. Somebody said
I don't think the fight's going 15 minutes. Let's put it that way.
Somebody said Chris and Jim were. They were on at 11. They were on at 11 a.m. Eastern, bud. That's who asked. Nathan said that. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Bien Trabajo's here. Said, "What's up, motherfuckers? Let's get it this weekend, man. Everybody's cussing. It's fucking all Friday. Scott.
Everyone's jacked up.
Everybody's all
Ready to go.
jacked up. Murray State plus 10 today. We may get to that one.
We might not. We'll see.
Jeff Neal by knockout.
Neal's a pretty interesting, I'd say, character for this one because he was in danger of going to jail about 3 weeks ago for DUI. So I'm not sure how focused he actually is for this fight. I'm not going to touch Neal in this fight. I'm just going to kind of enjoy it. I don't mind the knockout argument because Neal does have power, but I am a bit concerned about the outside of the ring distractions going on with him a bit right now. So I'm going to skip that.
Okay. Might want to be around for the party afterwards, though.
Could be.
Live betting Minnesota saved my day. Jay Seaton. Yep, absolutely. When's the last time a defending champ has beaten a dog? Charles Oliveira.
I'm trying to actually think of the last time a defending champion's been a dog. It's an interesting spot, though, because I think that even though Oliveira is an underdog, you can argue that's disrespectful. Can you really argue that Poirier isn't the best fighter in the weight class? Because I think he clearly is. Like, he chose to take the money fight against McGregor than to go for the title fight against Chandler for the interim. So I am really not surprised because I think Poirier is the best fighter in that weight class, and he chose to make a business decision and pick the money over the belt.
How do you feel about that?
So I'm not that surprised by it.
Okay.
You
sound like you're making a judgment there.
Well, somebody made the argument. I'm just making the counterpoint that Poirier, I do think, would be champion if he wanted to go for the belt instead of picking up a free payday win against McGregor, which he did.
Yeah, I don't know how many fighters are better than Poirier.
Poirier's fantastic.
Every time I watch him, I'm super impressed. Again,
everybody wants the rematch between him and Gaethje. So even though I like Oliveira and I do think that he's a hell of a fighter and his story's great because he's won so many fights in a row and he's one of the most underappreciated fighters in all of UFC, I think everybody wants that Poirier and Gaethje rematch because that fight's going to be absolutely crazy.
It is. So we're talking about the IUPUI, the Ooey Pooey under tonight. Already been movement on the line. Opened somewhere about 128.5. It's already down to 125.5. Tennessee State can score a little bit, Scott, but man, this Ooey Pooey team, they are the perfect under team. They go extremely slow. They shoot terribly. They shoot terribly from the line as an added bonus, and they play good defense. They're everything you want in an under team. Do they hit 125.5? I don't know. You're starting to get with this Tennessee State team that can put the biscuit in the basket. That's starting to get a little hinky for my money, but it's hard to bet against the Ooey Pooey under at this point, right?
I feel like it's another one of those don't fix what isn't broken situations where we've talked about it with overs before. Past couple of years, you're blindly betting Citadel overs.
Yeah.
You lose one time, big deal. You already have 7 in your back pocket. I feel like Ooey Pooey unders is the same way. You're not going to win all of them, but if you lose 1 out of every 7, I believe you're still making a lot of profit.
Yeah, I mean, I ride like trends like that with my premium subscribers, and every once in a while I'll have one of them reach out to me and say, "How long are we going to play this?" Like, we're going to play it till it loses. That's the way that works. If you've got a trend that's 7-0, 9-0, whatever, and if you don't hand that out as one of your plays, in my way of thinking, you're kind of committing handicapper malpractice. You know, you have to give out. You have to give out those plays. You just do, Scott. And yes, you're eventually going to lose. We've talked about the analogy with the craps table. You're going to 7 out eventually, but you pile those place bets up. You make your money while you can. You know the end is coming, but you try to make enough before that where the end doesn't kill you.
And that's going to segue us actually into the weekend college football game between Army and Navy, because there is one number that everybody is scared of, but I feel like we have to talk about it.
Is it Army?
The total in that game is around 35 and a half or so. The under is 15-0 in the last 15 meetings between Army and Navy.
Yes, Browns backer. That's exactly right. Per Presbyterian. Exactly correct. You ride those until you can't ride them anymore. But yeah, as far as
we lost one Presbyterian, but who cares? You won 8.
Now, here's the thing. It makes a very big difference where that number is, obviously. But I mean, 35, 38, very different numbers because we looked this up. Yes, the under is cashed at 15 straight. However, 3 of the last 6 times they've got to 38 exactly, 21-17. So 35 may make it unplayable. Is it
It
unplayable?
really might. I was trying to make a case for a play the day yesterday. Ended up going with college basketball instead in the Loyola game, which Donald, answer your question in a second. But I was scared off a little bit by the total. I wanted to make a case for the first half under, but it was at 17. I really wanted it at 17.5, and I couldn't find it, so I decided to just not play it. But I do think that checking the weather, of course, is one of the most important parts of a football total, especially one that's that low. If the weather is going to be awful, you got to feel a lot better about your under. But truth is, both defenses have really not been very good and not been solid this year. I know most of it's against the pass, but I don't know. This number just seems so low that I just couldn't even consider it, you know?
Is that
Is this
game
the
in
lowest
Philly?
football total you've ever seen
No.
for a college game?
No.
You've seen a
But
lower
it's
total?
close. Yeah, but not many. It's usually driven by circumstances. It's usually driven by
Massive
weather.
snow blizzard or something.
Right. This
To
game,
answer Donald's question, for Loyola -4.5 or the money line, I mean, I think Vanderbilt's not going to score, so I like Loyola there. They kept it close against Michigan State, kept it close against Auburn, and they beat DePaul on the road. And DePaul is a team that offensively is very talented. And Loyola held them to just 64 points in DePaul. So I think Vanderbilt offensively, we know, is a mess. They just lost to Vanderbilt. They scored 37 points earlier this year against VCU. I kind of have to like Loyola Chicago in that spot.
agree. Game's in Philly, right?
Yeah, Norman's mentioning how windy it is. The issue is neither team throws the ball. So I'm not sure if the wind's actually going to matter. It might impact one or two deep shots that both teams might try to throw out there. But both teams really just want to run the ball the entire game. I might end up taking a first quarter play if the lines come out, maybe a first quarter under. If it's anything that's 7 or above, I'll take it because I don't know how many possessions they're going to have in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a great point. T-Train says it's down to 34.5 in some spots. I've still got it at 35 if you like to bet online. Make your plays there. It is available at certain spots. Do both teams have good field goal kickers?
Navy's kicker is okay. Army's kicker seems to be kind of hit or miss, but truth is, if you're relying on Service Academy kickers for a total, you got yourself some problems. Most times.
And you also don't have guys that kick a lot of field goals because these teams, generally speaking, are among the top, if not at the top, in teams that go for it on fourth down.
If it's within 4th and 2, pretty much anywhere on the field, just assume they're going for it.
Automatic. Yeah, like for example, Army's attempted 8 field goals all season. They're 6 for 8 on field goals. They've attempted 1 over 40 yards, and that's it. So it could come into play as far as the wind goes. You got the wind, it's going to be 17, 18 miles an hour there in Philly. It's in Philly, right? They're back to playing it at Veterans Stadium.
I believe so. Let me just confirm real quick.
Or maybe they play at the Bob now. I don't know where they play in Philly, but it's always been
they are playing at MetLife Stadium. They're playing in Jersey.
In Jersey. Okay. Well, let me revamp my my weather here. Having said that, what's the play on this game, bud? What are you on here? Because it's the only college football game.
For me,
it's really easy. If this is one of 60 games over the weekend, you're fucking passing. You're like, I'm not playing 35 or Army. Fuck that. But it's the only game. So
yeah, my main play would be the first quarter under or first half under, but then again, I'm still waiting for a first quarter line there. Maybe even a first quarter Navy plus the points if you think that there's a chance that no team scores in the first quarter. Like, I don't mind that. But for this game, it's really a tough call because Army is 8-3. Navy's 3-8. Can you throw out the records in this game?
Throw out the records.
I don't know, because for rivalry games involving option teams, usually you expect a war. And I know that Navy last year couldn't move the ball, but they actually have a decent quarterback this time around. And Anderson's been good for Army as a quarterback, but the defense has had issues. So for me, I have a really hard time laying the points with Army here. I know that Army is the better team, but 7.5 does sound a little bit rich for a game with a total of 35, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Scott, you're up there in New York. I've got looking at the Weather Channel here. I've got about a 25% chance of rain during the game. Winds about 12 to 15. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, that's what I got. Of course,
Okay.
weather is always subject to change when you're trying to predict it about a day before the game. So
Right.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the weather report. If there's more rain coming in and awful weather, then maybe I'll get down on the under. But I'm really looking at a first quarter, first half under because I expect worst case scenario, even in decent weather, a feel out process.
I got to be honest with you. I am tempted. If this number gets to 34 and a half, 34,
You're probably gonna play the over at
I'm
that point.
tempted to play the over. I really am. Just because this Army team, they've been very, very good this season, Scott. They've played more overs than you think. You think Army, they going to run the ball, they sap your will to live, run the clock, but they are so good at it that they have been able to have some success. They're 5-6 to the over, so they haven't been fantastic, but they have played some overs this season. The problem is you play another triple option team. That's the team they practice against every day in practice. That's the defense. The defense gets to see that offense every fucking day. You don't have any problems with your scout team. It's not like when Houston has to play Army. And how do you run a scout team as the triple option? They're able to do that. So the defenses usually are very good, and that's why the totals tend to stay under.
That's why I'm sticking with the first quarter, first half, because I do think that one of these teams will gamble at some point, maybe down double digits late, and they might have to start going for it at their own 30, and I don't want to bother. But first quarter, first half, it's usually a massive slugfest for at least the first 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the first quarter under if it's 7 or higher.
Brad Crawford says if it goes over, Army will cover. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you're looking at a 28-10 kind of score. That's a great correlated parlay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna step out and go balls to the wall, play one side or the other. I totally agree. You should correlate it with how you think that game flow is going to be. BN Trabajo wants to know Army quarterback player prop pass attempts. Where do I find a line? Good luck.
You're not going to, because the only spot that would actually give you a college player prop would be either FanDuel or DraftKings. And since the game's in New Jersey, I don't see any player props on it. I know DraftKings doesn't even have a line on the game. FanDuel does, which I find fascinating, but you're not going to find it.
Weather Channel calling for morning showers. Yeah. It's a 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern start time, right?
I don't know why that's that big of a deal. I take showers every morning.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Mem and Funderburg says stay away from this game. Not a bad idea. Scott, somebody wanted to know your thoughts on Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State.
Toledo's a team that I have kind of gravitated to in the past couple of years because they always seem to be a solid offensive team that can occasionally play defense, but that's also the key word, occasional. They've been good this year. I mean, they're 7-2. They got killed by Oakland a while back, but they lost to Michigan State by 13 on the road. Not that bad of a loss. Michigan State's a pretty good team, but they're Middle Tennessee State. You mean the?
Let's talk about football, bud.
I thought so. Okay, I thought you meant basketball for a second. I'm like, yeah, they're not. They're playing against Richmond. For the
Good
football
breakdown,
game there. Yeah. Oh
hey,
boy,
Toledo.
You know
what? I'm going to step in here. I'm going to step in. We don't often do this because it's kind of a douche move. But we're going to tell you to stay tuned because we are going to do a bowl game breakdown on every single fucking bowl game. We'll have this one up. We're going to try to aim for, what did we decide, like 3 days in advance? Because if you go too far in advance, then you get all kinds of late breaking news. And you got guys that are sitting out and you look like a fucking douchebag because you didn't know anything when you made your video. But then again, if you get too close to game time, then you don't get enough people an opportunity to see it. So what did we decide, Scott? About 3 days in advance? That we're going to shoot for?
Give or take. Well, truth is, it's not a matter of not having a decision on the game. It's a matter of, I thought you meant basketball, so that's why I got really confused.
Well, I know that. I was going to let you go so far, but I had to cut you off.
I'm picking Toledo to win that game, by the way. I mean, I'll just give you a spoiler there. Middle Tennessee defensively is not very good. Sorry. And Toledo...
Now nobody's going to tune in for that fucking video.
Well, you always have to pay attention to the injury reports and maybe people opting out. But Middle Tennessee was 6-6. They're 10-point dogs, which I do think is pretty telling in this spot. if you see a team that's laying double digits and they only have one more win than the other team, usually you can tell that these teams aren't as close as the records indicate. I am not a fan of this Middle Tennessee defense at all. I think Toledo wins the game pretty handily.
I agree. I don't want to spoil my position or everything, but that's certainly the way I'm leaning right now.
Yeah.
On that game. Or just go to the guy's or just go to the guy's garage down the street from Reichel. I hear he gives you any bet you want. Yeah, you've got the golden fucking goose there, buddy. You've got the guy on the corner that gives you drive props, and you're sitting in great shape there. Brendan
As of
says
right now, I'm still waiting for the legal betting to come in about a month. But yes,
yeah. Good luck paying that minus 140. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
What else? Man, this is kind of a light basketball card tonight. What do you see? You see anything else? And I know we've got to play on the in the NCAA. You got anything else that you like besides?
Well, I got to talk about the NBA.
We put under. Well, I was going to put a bow on the NCAA. Anything else you see?
No, not really. It's a pretty quiet night for college basketball.
I'm going to lay 8 with the Roos.
I don't want to, but are the Roos actually decent? Question mark.
They play good defense. They played good defense so far. They're still offensively challenged. Wisconsin Green Bay can't score for shit. So
I'm on the under in that game.
You know what? I may go watch this game. My wife's working today. I may go see this game tonight. Hey, if my kid's out there, you want to go see a basketball game? Hit me up. By the way, and I don't think he's there, but I roasted him pretty bad. And I forgot to say something. I felt bad about it because I roasted him about his bowling scores the other night. He's having a great season. He's still averaging about 205. He kind of chunked one day, and the shot went away. The lanes dried up, and the shot changed. He missed it on the third game, but I roasted him pretty bad for not shooting 700. He's a hell of a bowler. He's having a great season. He's already shot 290. So it was kind of a dad dick move. So if you're out there, buddy, my apologies. If not, I'll have to actually text you in person. So anyway, I'm a big enough man to go, yeah, that was kind of douchey. So I don't like to call him out. The Roos beat Missouri Tide. Dude, why do you have to fucking remind me of that like every day? Every day somebody says, remember.
But we just talked about the Roos, so I'm going to allow that one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We brought it up, asked and answered. I don't see it. I'm tempted.
It's really just not a great college card.
I'm tempted to take this Brown team at home, catching points from Vermont, who's kind of been underwhelming so far. They haven't quite been Vermont yet.
A lot of money coming in on Vermont.
They're just 3-6 against the number. Yeah, if I can catch that 4.5, I might be interested in getting involved there. Brown's 8-2.
So the line went from around 1. Line went from around 1 to 3.5. So there has been a lot of Vermont money coming in. But you want to go through some NBA quickly before we get to our favorite play?
Nathan's just saying they're decent, dude. I don't know if you can use Mizzou as a yardstick because they're terrible. They are a terrible fucking basketball team. God, it's a down year for my teams, buddy. Mizzou and K-State, not good. Okay, so I guess we should start with the first game on the rotation. This Sacramento Charlotte. Scott, numbers gone up from 227 up to 231. Everybody's pounding
over
the over here.
Over.
Sacramento has played surprisingly not a lot of over games. That's usually a team you can count on to score pretty well and have absolutely no defense. They've been decent. Line tomorrow.
What was the last game? 270 something against Orlando. I believe that was Sacramento's last game.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. Somebody said, the line tomorrow against Kansas, 25. No, probably not that bad. It should be. I would not be surprised to see KU win that one by 25.
They're playing Missouri tomorrow?
Yeah.
If I had to guess the line right now, I would say 16.5.
I think that's in the ballpark. I think 15 is about
That's a pure guess on my part. I'll go 16.5.
I think that's pretty close. Can we leave live chat up for the replay? Lots of good info in the comments. What a great question. I don't know.
Can we? Maybe. I don't know.
I will check with Jim's kind of our coordinator as far as all things this live social media, and he's kind of has the experience there. So I will ask him. That's a great question. I'm going to put that on my notes to ask, because I have thought about that myself, about leaving the comments up. I don't know. I like to go back and look at them. I don't know why they go away. So Brownsbacker, great question. I will find out an answer for you. It probably won't happen with this one, not going to lie, but hopefully I can get an answer over the weekend and we can see if we can change that. And if not, I'll bring it up again, and I'll tell you why we can't change it. So,
I know,
Lakers
I like
money
the
line.
over in the Sacramento game.
How do you not? How do you not, buddy?
You kind of have to, right?
Lakers, Suns, Pacers, all on the money line.
You want to take the Lakers money line? I mean, I know Oklahoma City is a team that's not very good. They are 2-0 against the Lakers this season. The Lakers were up about 25 in each game, and then they fell apart. Do you really want to back the Lakers with Anthony Davis potentially not playing in this game? What do you think?
I think that's the best question I've ever seen in the comment section. When did Reichel start filming in front of a shed?
I don't know if it's in front of a shed or indoors, but it's kind of roomy in here.
Okay, can you explain why you have different backgrounds on different days, Scott?
It depends where I'm at.
What and what? Where would you be? You'd be where or where?
The what?
Where would you be?
We'll get into it
You'd
some
be...
other time.
Scott splits his weekends still.
Every now and then.
All right. I'll roast him some other time. I've been roasting pretty hard today. I won't do that, but Scott's in different locations for different weekends. What kind of wall is that? What is that? Is it wood? Is it tile? I honestly can't.
Believe it's wood.
Look how old I am. I'm like craning my head.
Squinting over with glasses on. That's how you know it's bad.
Yeah. Okay. So you're fade on you pass on the Lakers?
The Lakers should win because how are you going to lose to Oklahoma City? But they lost Oklahoma City twice. So I don't really feel great about taking the Lakers money line, but I do think the Pacers should end up winning. I do think that you have a spot where Indiana's a team that we know is psycho, but you're looking at a Dallas team that's been kind of underwhelming lately. I don't mind Indiana winning that game. Do you trust Indiana, though? I don't know. Do they have a coach? I don't know, because Carlisle had COVID issues. So there's a lot of questions going on with the Pacers right now, and if you're afraid of the uncertainty, then you should probably stay away. But the two plays I'm looking at the over in the Kings game, and I'm looking at the Hawks -2 against the Nets. As a Nets fan, I have a hard issue actually just picking them to win this game because Atlanta's a great team at home. We know that. The Nets are a team that seems to always play with its food, and I do think that you're going to see a spot where Atlanta comes out and plays well here. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Hawks. I think they'll get the job done tonight.
Okay. I'm looking to see if there's a line on the Mizzou game tomorrow. Somebody said, "Oh, there it is. Is it really 25? Good Lord. It is 25, dude.
I thought 16.5 was just a good guess.
Wow.
But okay, fair enough.
Wow. I did think mid-teens as well. I did not think it was going to be 25. That's fucking outrageous.
That's a little bit too much for me.
Somebody brought up in the comment section, I hadn't heard this before. They said that they're all over KU.
I thought that was just a guess. I didn't realize that they knew that it was 25.
No, I did too. I thought it was a guess as well. I thought that was high. Tom Bodette left the light on for him. Very nice. It does look like a Motel 6. That's exactly. It looks like the fucking cinder block wall.
I still don't understand something about that entire chain. What happened to the first 5 of them?
Well, it used to be because it used to be $6.
But I'm saying, what happened to the first 5 motels?
Well, they're all there, buddy.
They're all there. They just skipped the 6.
Are you in a motel? Are you in witness protection?
If I was, then why would I tell you?
These bookmakers sitting in their little Vegas rooms are really sharp. Got to hammer those bastards. Yeah, I agree. That's why I got into this. That's no lie. If you guys were with me from the beginning, the whole reason I started doing this and I started doing it with Republic, I came out of the casino environment. I hated the fucking way casinos market. I hate the way they are unscrupulous and take advantage of the weakest among us. And I will do anything in my power to beat casinos and to beat bookmakers out of their fucking money. And I still feel that way.
Fight the power.
It's a personal mission with me, buddy, because I've seen behind the curtains and I've seen what they do. And it is unscrupulous. However unscrupulous you think they are, they don't cheat. Don't get me wrong. They do not. They don't have a thumb on the scale because they don't have to. They have an advantage in everything that goes on under their roof. And if they don't let you play. That's the bullshit part about casinos. You have an edge. whether it be at blackjack, whether it be at sports betting, they're going to ask you not to participate anymore in that particular activity at their casino. So, yeah. They have to fund their endeavors in marble floors in Vegas. Absolutely right. Fuck them. Let's go get their money. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
As far as my play, Scott, you know what? I don't hate Cleveland catching a 1.5 from Minnesota.
I don't mind that either.
If you had to play a road team there, I don't hate that. I have no faith in this Toronto team. I'm not loving the Knicks right now, but this Toronto team frustrates me to no end. You gonna get involved with them at all?
No. I mean, they blew a decent opportunity there to beat Oklahoma City last game. The Knicks are a mess. If you want to get involved in that game, I'm rooting for you.
Yep.
But I really don't trust either team.
Yep. All right, here we go, man. This is it. We're running late. We're out of time. We're gonna do it. By the way, don't forget to tune into the NFL show tomorrow. Toyed with the idea of doing it today to give me a weekend off, but we're gonna do that tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. The time our normal college show would be. We'll be doing NFL tomorrow. So our normal college show would be today. Anyway, yeah, it's a regular time for our NFL show. How about that? Here we go, buddy. Bet the farm. Somebody's calling for it, and it's coming. Get ready for the 7th day in a row. Fuck you guys. You guys have all the land you need. We're gonna put some crops in. Put your straw hat on. Get on that John Deere. Fire that motherfucker up because it is time to bet the farm. No. Yes. God damn it. The big buildup and I missed the cue. I'm so pissed. All right. Scott, I can't remember. How did we do yesterday?
We had Iowa State plus 5.5 against Iowa, and they won the game outright.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. What?
So,
that was perfect timing.
You're so bad at that.
Oh, get the hell out of here. That was perfect.
So, Scott,
we've
got one fired up for today. We're not going to lie.
That's the wrong farm play, damn it.
What's that?
That's the wrong farm play on the screen, damn it.
Where the hell did it go? Did I not plug everything in? Son of a bitch. All right, well, we've been lucky when I haven't done everything. I plugged all the other ones in. All right, kids, we're not going to lie. It wasn't a great card, but we did find a play that we really liked. And it is going to be Murray State catching 10.5. You'll find it at 10 a lot of places. We got it 10.5 at -110 at BetMGM. So if you got access to it, 10.5 is I would play it at 10. Don't worry, but 10.5 is just always better than 10. They're going up against Memphis. Memphis has lost each of its last 3 games. Murray State's won each of its last 4, and they've been winning in style as they won by at least 12 points. The Tigers averaging 19.1 turnovers per game. Scott, if that sounds like a lot to you, there's a reason, because that's the most in the entire country. 19.1 turnovers every single time. The Racers, they rank 52nd in steals per defensive possession. So they will help Memphis in their mission to give the ball away. And last but not least, you want to know how Memphis is playing? Not well. They are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games as a favorite. We're going to gobble up those points once again for the 2nd day in a row. It's going to be a farm dog, and there's nothing better than a farm dog. Nothing more faithful, nothing friendlier, but nothing that will defend you quicker than a farm dog, and that's what we've got today. 2nd day in a row, college basketball, farm dog. Give us the Murray State Racers plus 10.5.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a spot where Memphis has played so poorly for the last week that I'm not sure why they're laying double digits to a team that's only lost 1 time. I get Murray State hasn't faced many quality teams, but do you really trust Memphis to win a game by double digits when they're turning the ball over 19 plus times per game? I do not. So nope. I think Murray State keeps it close.
We saw turnovers doom Purdue last night. We saw what a tenacious defense can do, and we'll see it again tonight. It was Murray State plus 10.5. That's going to do it for the day's show. It's going to do it for the week, you guys. As always, thanks for being part of the best comment section anywhere on the internet. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for dropping your plays. Thanks for all the questions, comments. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be doing our NFL show right in the middle of Army-Navy. But until then, you guys take care. Let's have a great night tonight. Go beat the books for some money, all right? Good luck on all of your plays. We'll see you next time. Come back and see us tomorrow as Scott and I will once again attempt to head back to the window. Peace.